Oh, we need the bag, man, because the premise here is we rap over a drink, but you don't drink.
I don't drink.
So,
well, very.
It's okay,
very
man. I'm not. No, you're not drinking. I'm gonna watch you went through this before.
Let's do the green.
You gonna do the green drink?
Yeah, let's do the green.
All right, there you go. You got the power green.
That's what's up.
And this is we got some ginger beer, and this is the golden remedy. So that's what we do, man. We're gonna sit. We're gonna rap about what we do.
All right.
Over a drink. First of all, brother Rick, thank you, man, for giving me a couple minutes of your time
Sure,
today.
man. No problem, man.
You know what I mean?
What's up?
Welcome to Over a Drink. You been shooting for how long?
If you add up all my years, it's close to 30, man.
What made you want to do this for a living?
Well, I got an interesting path, man. As you see behind us, man, I was a musician in high school, and that was my thing, man. I wanted to be a musician and tour the world and play. And my mom was like, "Well, that's cool, but you got to go to school for something." It took me a minute to figure it out, but I walked into a communications program at Temple. So I got into that program and came out and did my music thing. And that was kind of hot and cold for me. Kind of looked at my degree. I said, damn, let me try and use this. 29 years later.
So, I was a mediocre rapper too, man.
29 years later, man, I'm still in TV.
Talk a little bit about some of the stories that you've covered, if you could think of something that kind of stood out.
In 92, I went to Somalia. And back then, I remember the news director walked up to me and said, "Hey, man, we'd like to send you over to Somalia." And I was just like, okay. And so...
Did you have a passport?
I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. There was a doctor from Johns Hopkins, out of Baltimore, who was over there doing a 6-month tour. The military was going to take us over there, so we had to tell their story too. It was crazy over there, man. It was like, it reminded me of like Mad Max, man. It was like no law, no order.
They was just going.
It was just a bunch of warlords running stuff. And we would wander into different areas and shoot stuff. Some stuff you had to kind of sneak shooting it because you weren't supposed to shoot it. And then you got to see all the camps where you see the kids, those famous shots. You see the kids stand up there half dead and the flies and everything. You got to see some of that. So, but part of the story over there was the relief efforts that the military was flying in there weren't making it to these camps. The warlords were intercepting the stuff and doing whatever they were doing with it. So, we had to kind of tell that part of the story. And we finally got to meet up with the doctor. It took us some time to get to him. And we just watched him and told his story, how he was trying to save these people, these kids, man, with very little utensils, very little water. I mean, it was just like, wow, how's this guy even doing this, man? And why is he doing it?
You see bodies, you see dead bodies, you see celebrating bodies. You get to see, you didn't see be in a circle with presidents, you be in a circle with, some of the worst humans that, the universe was ever able to create. And you ever think to yourself, man, like me, I didn't see myself on this path. I just stumbled into this.
Right, so did I. Early on, I guess, in my career where I would see stuff and it might stay with me for a couple days, like Somalia. When I came back from there, it took like a week to get my head straight, man. And, you go from covering kids starving to death where, this pile of kids, they'll be dead in maybe a couple weeks. This group of kids, and they might have a month left. This group of kids, it could be any day with them. So you cover that, you see that, and then you come back here and you cover some kind of strike, That was like, what are we doing, man? What am I doing? And it just, it took a minute. Now, you get kind of jaded.
My wife said to me one time, See, I used to have nightmares all the time, nightmares all the time. And I never realized, I was like, I've been having nightmares since I'm a kid. It's just who I am. And she's like, Mike, you ever think it's because of the job you do? I said, nah, it's nothing. Because, I mean, again, you see dead bodies, you see,
Right.
you see you see a lot of people in their worst states
Right.
that they'll ever be in their lives.
Right.
They done lost everything they've ever had, whether it be their jobs, their house, their kids. You see this. You see all this suffering. And then I got shift to this good day shift. And I started doing lifestyle stuff. I wasn't doing as much crime anymore. 2 years maybe into it. We were eating dinner. She says, you know what, Mike, man? I haven't had to wake you up from nightmares lately. I said, wow. I said, maybe it was the job. Like, maybe it does sink into your psyche and you don't deal with it until you shut down. At least in my case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
maybe once I went to sleep at night is when all that stuff started to roam around in my head.
You got to have an outlet.
Yeah.
And music is that for me.
Gotcha.
Recording and creating music. So, when I pull out of that lot at the end of my day,
It's gone.
It's gone, man. As you get older and you get more into this career, man, you let it go a lot quicker.
It's true.
Sometimes, stuff, man, you come back the next day and it's like, that something a day or two ago is still in your head, still bothering you. Or, something you saw on the street or something you might have smelled on the street or something. It's still in your head, man. But, now, a couple hours.
It's gone.
It's gone,
It's
man.
gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
And you're right, though, man, because a lot of times it don't stay, man. And I'm like, and you think to yourself, is there sometimes, I got to say, it's like, is there something wrong with me that it don't stay with me? But I'm happy it don't stay with me. You know what I'm saying?
You can't let it stay with you.
What kind of person would you be if you kept all that stuff with you on a daily basis, regular basis?
You messed up.
You'd be messed up. I met you in Allentown, and that was, 1995. First of all,
year?
yeah, because I was fresh out of school. My first thought was, there's some cool-ass shooters down there in Philly. Like, this dude looks pretty cool. I was talking to you about rushing to get to a shoot or something like that. You said, yo, Mike, man, if the story's big enough, it'll be there. That stuck with me, man, throughout my whole career. To this day, I still use that line.
That's what's up. I didn't know that.
That Freeman's Brothers trial was the first major story that I covered, where I was like, dude, these cats like killed their parents. And
I don't remember that, Mike.
and this is what I'm saying. Like, we get so turned off because it happens.
You know what's weird too?
Over and over and over.
You know what's weird too? As you drive around the city and even around the tri-state area, you drive around and you be like, yeah, I remember that murder on that corner.
I'll be in a car with my wife and kids doing that.
I remember that building burnt down, 10 years ago. I remember as a kid got ran over by a car on this corner. You drive through the neighborhoods
and
or through the areas.
Stories that you cover,
you
right?
remember, that, oh yeah, man, like 10 years ago, some dude, whatever,
When covering crime and so forth in black communities, how does that affect you, man? Does it? Did it?
A ways back, we were going into the black neighborhoods, and something terrible may have happened, but I guess the neighborhood was kind of happy to see you, or it's like, oh, here, here's a news crew, and it's TV, and they would come over and be curious, and in terms of not necessarily what the story is, but kind of what you do, who you are, who you're with. And it was like a glow almost. It ain't like that anymore. You pull up in these neighborhoods and you get the glares, the snarls, the why y'all here now, type of thing. So that kind of, I see that affects me a little bit.
The first time I shot a young black dude being arrested, right? He looked at me and said, please don't put me on TV.
Right.
And I didn't shoot him. Right? I didn't shoot his face. I shot his feet. Maybe I shot his hands or something like that. I didn't shoot his face. I was still young in the game. This was probably like 96 or something. And I felt a connection.
Okay.
Almost. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, damn, dude, we always in this space. You know what I'm saying? And where do I cut it off? Where do I say, listen, man, I got to do my job, man.
Yeah, you have to do your
You know
job.
what I'm saying? I got to do my job, man.
You gotta
Like,
do
don't
your
get
job.
arrested, man. Like, I don't want to put you on TV, but
Right.
don't get arrested, man. Like, help me, help you. You grew up in Philly.
I did.
So you be in a lot of the neighborhoods. So you run the risk of running into people you knew while you're doing your job.
Yeah. There are neighborhoods that, you know, I know people in, I go there, and then, you know, I'll get a call, hey, you know, such and such happened, you got to go there. And so, yeah, you run the risk of running into somebody who you might know, or somebody who knows you or whatever. And you might have to put somebody on TV who
Yeah.
you don't want to, but
What are you going to do?
do your job. That's
Gotta
what
do
you
your
do.
job. When I was working in Allentown, they had us, I was on call. And not the wisest thing for me to do. I stopped at the bar, on call, right? Shooting happens outside. What am I supposed to do? I got in the car and left, man.
Yeah.
I can't
agree.
explain why I was out with y'all stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, man.
And the shooting went down. That's too much explaining for me to do.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I mean?
agree. Boom, yeah.
I asked Terry this question, man. I said, yo, man. I said, I look at us like we're historians, man.
We get to witness a lot of history. We get to be a part of a lot of stuff. And you know, you and I sit here and be like, yeah, you know, we interviewed this president or that person, and, you know, went to this Super Bowl. But I think most people, you know, who aren't in this business be like, wow, man, y'all did all that. You did this, you met that person, you know, you've been around this, you've been around that. So, yeah, I think, and then they ask questions, you know, well, how was that? You know, who? So, yeah, I guess in a way, yeah, we are historians, man, because we witness a lot, we videotape a lot, and it's kind of, you know, what we do.
All right, Rick. Well, we ain't finished the drink. Bro.
I know, man. I'm half drinking this, man.
You a slow drinker. Yeah.
I am a
You've
slow
always
drinker,
been,
man.
like, during the time, yeah. Whether it's juice, whether it's cognac. But you see, I brought you something that I knew wouldn't get you in no trouble, man.
I appreciate that too, man.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Rick.
Yeah, man. No problem.
It's a pleasure, man. Every time, man.